There we go. That took long enough. I've been having all kinds of technical difficulties. Even with the thumbnail, it simply would not upload a. It wouldn't let me move a picture. I tried different methods. It wouldn't let me do it. Um, you know, gets the paranoid side of me thinking, they monitor every damn thing and they probably saw what I was going to talk about and so on and so forth. I don't know that for a fact, but come on. Come on. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Random Live number 99. U.S. attacks Nord Stream? Question mark. You never know when someone's going to try and make that goddamn distinction. Oh, you said something and you didn't. Well, fucking put the pieces together, motherfuckers. Son of a bitch. All right. It's Thursday, September 29th. Took a couple minutes late getting it going because, again, there was all kinds of technical difficulties trying to get going. But 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Central Time. Middle of damn U.S. for people who aren't aware or from far away. Sue is in the chat, Lowrider, Bearded Knowledge, thank you. Well, know a few things. Donald, welcome. Little Kilroy, the stick that stirs the shit. The shit needs stirs sometimes. B-Lin says, hello, welcome, B-Lin. Icon's here. He says, it looks like you're broadcasting from an Atari. From an Atari? Really? How so? What do you mean? Am I all jacked up? Like from my end, I don't know what the intro looked like to you guys. From my end, it was completely jacked up. I can only hope that it played fine for you guys. It seems like usually, even though it looks jacked up to me, almost every time on this end, when I look at the replay, it seems like it played pretty much fine for you guys. So it just must be on my end. See who else is here. Icon saying, howdy, Achaeos. Hey, chat. Hello. Mr. Lee's here. Welcome, Mr. Lee. Uncle Bones is here. Welcome. To y'all at the same time, telling Mr. Lee he missed everything. Yeah. Well, you haven't really missed anything yet, Mr. Lee. Picture quality is jacked. Yeah, I think that they may be potentially messing with me because they don't want people thinking along these lines. I'm gonna play a clip from Ken Wheeler, channel name Theoria Apothesis, where he's afraid to say the T word. Now I say the T word all the time. Terrorist. Freedom of speech, motherfuckers. That's a thing. It's supposed to happen here in America, right? Where we can say every fucking word that exists, whether you like it or not. Hopefully YouTube's going to get their ass handed to them after they this little altercation with Russell Brand, and hopefully that gets people stirred up and standing up YouTube more and more, and YouTube starts backing down with their goddamn bullshit. Your Nazi level book burning, just modern day, right? The Nazis didn't have the internet, they didn't have YouTube, but today that's what we got. Okay, so you guys are basically Nazi book burners, you ones that are deleting people's videos and taking down people's channels. That's what you're doing. YouTube, goddamn fucking stop it. Hopefully the political winds change to an extent that they can be charged with that crime in the next few years, because it is a goddamn crime. You're still in the way of the rights of people in America. You can fuck all the way off and go to jail for that, as far as I'm concerned. People have a right to speak. And that's just the way it's going to be. YouTube, you cannot operate in the town square of the internet. You can't do it and take away people's rights on the goddamn internet. You cannot fucking do that. It's a town square. That's what it is. People have free speech. Fuck all the way off. Good afternoon, good sir. Missed everything. Rail Rider says, looks like you're underwater. Well, hopefully not. Could have something to do with the glare. B-Lin says, look, your background is all fuzzy. Is it? Well, the sun's at a weird angle, so that might have something to do with it. Icon says, hopefully this is an interesting stream. I'm missing my Japanese weather news channels, hottie. You could always put them in a separate like window and shrink it down and put it over here to the side or something and turn sound off on it. Mr. Lee says, are we talking about the helmet hair fella? No, not today, Mr. Lee. You will not believe. I think I've had more messaging activity in the last 2 days than I've had for the whole goddamn year. It's been kind of nuts. There's some people that are not happy, and there's some people that are very, very fucking happy. So you people that are not happy, you need to understand there's a bunch of people that are largely quiet and you're not aware of that have a problem with you. And I intended to be a voice here. In fact, if some of those people want to come on Saturday, they can come on and say what they want to say. I don't normally do guests, but I'm going to fucking do it because you motherfuckers have a problem. And in fact, I don't know how much I should say, but the implication that, look, if you're a public figure, you're a public figure. That means people get to have a goddamn opinion about you. So don't you come at me suggesting the goddamn threat, because I took it as a threat of suing me for slander or some shit. Don't even, if you want, don't fucking threaten me. If you affect me in any way, that's just going to make me want to come back harder. And if I have to take different methods to go about it, I will. But you're stirring me up further. I'm going to go as far as I'm going to go with what I have to say and what I think about the situation. And if you want it to be stirred up and be a bigger thing, keep on messing with me, because I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck. I am sick of people jacking us around on this subject. I'm fucking sick of it. So that's a separate subject. I know that maybe some people watching they don't even know how I'm talking about. So let's stay away from it for now. But I'm just saying, don't fucking threaten me, because I'll find a way to come do an end around if I have to, whatever it takes. And my shit goes on Bitchute, it goes on Odysee, it goes on Rumble. If you try to get shit taken off of YouTube, it's not going to fuck away. And in fact, this might be the thing that gets me to take my shit to some other platforms. I might say, you know what, this needs to be spread a little further. Let's spread some LOCKBEARD a little further in the internet. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of that I'm going to say? I mean, obviously you're afraid of something. You're goddamn afraid of something. What are you afraid of? What don't you want people to hear said? I'm a little fish. Why you even talking to me? I'm a little fish. Why are you talking to me? People talk shit on Donald Trump all the time, and he never talks to most of them. I mean, occasionally, because he's different. But come on. So let's get back to the subject. Miss Peckerneck. Ruthless is here. Welcome, Ruthless. Mr. Lee says, I can't stand Russell Brand. Yeah, he's yeah. But at least he's kind of fighting for the free speech side of things. So I hear you, Mr. Lee. I hear you. Yeah. I guess Donald Trump's paying attention to it as well. I think was the CEO of Rumble and Elon Musk were involved in the conversation over on, I think, Twitter. Um, so there's some big names with their eye on this situation. I think YouTube is about to get, hopefully, their comeuppance state that they fucking deserve. I think some people need to go to fuck the jail because they don't have a right to curtail free speech here, and and telling people you're spreading misinformation when in fact they are covering up the truth and they are spreading misinformation. Yes, YouTube, you're spreading the misinformation. It's you, fucking moron, anti-freedom, un-American scumbag fucks. I think I found a new dig. Ninth prep for exit. What? Picture in picture. Yeah, picture in picture. Yeah. Chessboard's here. Welcome. I got to really catch up in this chat. Helmet hair fella and alien, possibly. Yeah, Mr. Lee, I'm surprised I ain't got no message from you. It seems like I'm getting messages from a lot of other people who have some thoughts on the matter. And yeah. Ida Bustamonte's here. Welcome. The Slim Shady Kane says, I hate Lockbeard. Well, you can hate me. I don't care. I really, whoever you are, I mean, you don't have a real name up here. So, I just have no reason to give a fuck what you think. You're insignificant and useless in the world. So go fuck off. Go fuck off. Donald says it's going to be an epic show, Mr. Lee. Well, I don't know if it's going to be epic. I just have some opinions on the matter, and some people aren't going to agree with it, I don't guess, but I think I have a good point or two about this fella, and that's it. Ruth says, shit, did I type that? Thinking out loud? Maybe. Got their hellos and howdy doos. Bat Mom's here. Welcome. The chat is spastic as hell, but I'm trying to. Yeah, Ruthless says Lucky's fired up. Yeah, man, some people are pissing me the fuck off. There's some bullshit going on in the world, on YouTube, just whatever, man. It's just goddamn. Donald says, I will follow the show wherever it goes. Yeah, well, that reminds me. From what I understand, I think it's on Rumble. Like either I got to get either I got to do the paid service on Rumble to be able to live stream to Rumble, or I need to get to 100 subscribers on Rumble. So if you guys go check out the description and go to my channel on Rumble and subscribe, even if you're never over there. I need to get to 100 subscribers before they'll even let me live stream, or I got to pay for the service. And I'm already in a negative on this thing. Because there's different things that I'm, it seems like it isn't just turn on the camera. Like there's different things I got to pay for to kind of make everything happen and work. And so yeah. I would like to try and avoid, especially right now, because I'm at the bottom of the barrel money wise until the new job starts. And I would, while I would like to be able to live stream the Rumble, I'd rather not pay for it. I'd rather do, if I get to 100 subscribers, then on Rumble, then I can live stream for free. Rutha says they're afraid you won't agree. Chessboard says, Lockbeard, did you get my email about Nord 2? When did you send it? I checked my email today, sometime earlier today. Awesome. Gary, welcome. Ruthless says, but Locky, it's their platform and they can by definition as they do as they like. It's a TOS, the user agreement thing. Yeah, I know. We're forced to agree to the user agreement. Otherwise, they won't let us use the platform. But here's the problem: they're using public space to run their platform. Therefore, they're how do I explain it? Like someone else can explain this better than me. They have to adhere to the laws of the country of the person, the user, right? So if they don't like the law, now they're going to try and explain, they're going to try and say that bullshit right there, and they can fuck all the way off with that bullshit. When you're dealing with American citizens, you got to operate by American Constitution, because the internet is not private property; it's public property. I mean, someone can try and define it and say, "Well, my website, blah blah blah." No, your website's on the internet. Your website don't exist anywhere without the internet, and the internet needs to be kept at least upholding the laws of the countries that it's interacting with, right? So they have to follow my goddamn liberty, and that needs to be someone. They need to get this codified pretty goddamn hard. Like I would think that. I mean, it's probably going to take the various nations to make that a law. Say, look, YouTube, you or every website, you have to abide by our country's laws when dealing with our citizens, um, in the manner that I just hopefully expressed well enough. Or you cannot interact with our citizens. You cannot. The internet, as it intersects cyberspace, as it intersects with the United States, which means any U.S. citizen that it's interacting with, in effect, is under U.S. law. So, Mr. Lee says, "Look, I've been ill, man. Well, sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully, you get better." Head chats. Yeah, I know. Icon says, "I guess did you forward my email to Mr. Lee?" I did forward it to Mr. Lee, didn't I, Mr. Lee? But I can't find. I don't think I have Uncle. I need to, Uncle Bones. I don't have your email address. I thought I did, but Paul says, "Oh shit! Somebody, did somebody get this troll out of here? Because I still see it in StreamYard. I got to start up YouTube in order to see it. Hold on. Hold on. While I'm getting this loaded, anybody that watched Squatch DTV on Sunday night, I seem to remember. I'd like to use a short clip where Steve Coles is talking about finding Bigfoot, and he mentions how he was told that they would not, by design. But these aren't his exact words, but basically he was told that they would not, by design, they were not to find anything, because if they find anything, then Bigfoot show over, right? Because the show is about looking, not actually finding, like the name says, right? So all those shows, that's what they're really about. Get to I have to turn it off real quick because the sound's gonna come on, and then there's gonna be echo, and yep. I think I got two mods in here. Oh yeah, the computer did not like that. Hopefully, I'm still coming through all right. The computer did not like that. Yeah, Paul, you just earned a permanent ban out of this bitch. So goodbye. You are a straight up troll. I'm all about free speech, but that is straight up trolling. Yeah, there's not even, yeah, just Ruthless says 11 Lucky gets fired up. Mr. Lee says, I tried watching Untold Radio last night, but when Doug mentioned the not deer, I fell asleep. Yeah, what was that bullshit? Yeah, I have never ever watched his show on I've seen a lot of the Monster Quest stuff, but I've never watched the show, and I saw part of it last night because of everything that's going on. And yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. That was just some shit. Apparently, platypus down here, back here in the lagoon. Icon sees no pow pow. Jesus Christ. This guy has more claims of seeing cryptids than Vault claims he shot them. Who's that? Who's that, Donald? Platypuses. Ruthless says they changed the goalpost by way of fine print, admonishing any error they may make that inhibits the users. Monster Quest is rubbish. Yes, Mr. Lee. Yeah. And hopefully I'll be able to explain some of problems with it that I think some people aren't thinking about the full measure of the problem of these shows like this, and understanding why part of the reason why I'm so irked by this guy setting foot on YouTube at all. But I'll go over that Saturday. Donald says you're back to 100%, Mr. Lee. You zapped him? Not quite. Paul ain't coming back. Awesome. Batman says, well, maybe we could help you if you didn't just favor the two mods. I do have just two mods here, don't I? What do you mean don't favor the two? What are you talking about? Favor the two mods. I was trying not to do mods, but I guess I'm going to start having to add some. I just want to make sure everyone that becomes a mod understands kind of, free speech. Someone can come in here and call me an asshole they want, but, like that one earlier, slipping in the M-bomb and he thinks he's clever, but we've seen that many times. That's just a troll. That person's got to go. And no one is absolutely allowed to drop the M-bomb in my chat. It's just not going to happen. Everybody should know that there's boundaries, and that's one of them. Sanders says, hi everyone in chat. Still no Wi-Fi or electricity in my area, running off cell phone. Well, I hope you're safe. Uncle Bone says, Mr. C, someone like him report, don't hide him, wipe him out. Yeah, you got to just wipe that kind of thing out. Oh man, the computer, like the fans like kicked on and just running full blast. So hopefully we don't have any interruption. I'm gonna try and elevate it here so it can keep cooler, easier. Sent it yesterday in Proton Mail. Is it something you think I should show on here? Oh, I got that clip. Yeah, I think you know what you're. Yeah, I think I got the. I think the exact clip you're talking about. It's the same one. Well, I'm not going to click on the link though in your email because, again, I already got it pulled up over here. Which way is it for you guys? Yeah, I got it pulled up. It may not be the exact same one, but I think it's the exact same thing you're talking about there. And what Uncle Kenny was talking about. Uncle Kenny was talking about this, and I agree with his assessment of the situation. Tell by the title that I had the word as a question, but and I actually don't know. I don't know that for an absolute fact, but let's put the pieces together, shall we? Hope you like. I've heard all the excuses for why they think Russia would do this, but come on, man, that's a gravy train of money for them, and they're, they might fiddle with it, they might meter it a little bit, and but they want that money, man. They need that money. Boring as all hell, Monster Quest, says Gary. Holy shit, even Gary don't like it. It's crazy. Yeah. and if anybody's got any particular points that they think should be made, because hopefully I'm only going to address him once, and we all move forward, because we got other people to talk about, right? Who are a problem in this community. And yes, I think he is a problem. He is a problem. And but if there's a particular point, like I may not, that you're interested in bringing up, to like email me or something, I might, it might be something I can fit in. There's only 2 days to really um, try to incorporate anything, but we can try, and if it's something that I think really needs to be brought up. And there's some connected stuff where maybe in the future we'll anyway, it's a whole nother subject. We should stick to what we're talking about tonight. Beeline says, hey, where's my blue wrench? Well, I've only handed out 2 so far. Ruthless says, I've seen Dogman in videos. It's actually a bloke with birth defects affecting his limbs and body. His knees are reversed. You'd be happy to help. I might try and add some more, but right now I think I'm lucky to be able to. Let me see here. Jesus Christ. Who all? I think I just got Mr. Lee. All right, everybody's gonna want to be a mod. I'm gonna throw on 3 more real quick, and then we need to get on. We need to get on with this this thing. Add a moderator. I think the computer's starting to calm down. It did not like me opening up one more tab. It was like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. All right, I threw 3 back on there. I don't know who all was wanting to do it, but I mean, I got Lowrider says, make Beeline and Sandpiper mods. Oh, Sandpiper wasn't one of them. There are leaves falling out of the trees. Need to get some glue. Be right back. What the hell? What the hell is that? Legs of an animal the way the knees? Yeah, fucking dog, man. Still hot in Oklahoma. It's like, what is the temperature right now? It's almost 90, I think. It's supposed to drop down a couple of degrees. No, there's no way that's right. Now it says 78. Whatever. Stupid weather app. Sanders says Donald Fuller, pull screen damage, but pull cage intact. No Wi-Fi cable, electricity, debris everywhere. Again, this is why I should run everything, because this, like no electricity would never ever happen again the way it doesn't. We're supposed to be the top of the game. We could. That's a whole nother thing. We could have things built in such a way that no one ever has. There's never these mass energy wipeouts everywhere. But again, there's people making money off things being the way they are, and they don't want to change and make things better. And they could have done it. They'll try and say it's cost prohibitive. They're full of goddamn shit. This country should have by now had uh, uh, onboard electrical production in every house with ease and affordably, and actually cheap. It would have been cheaper. It's cheaper in the long run, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that because we got a corrupt, evil government that's in bed with big business instead of protecting our rights. I mean, because you have to buy your electricity, and who do you buy it from? Well, there's you don't have a lot of options, right? There's Batman says, yeah, you suck like this. I'm pretty sure Mr. Lee is Mr. Shady McShady. What? Mr. Shady McShady. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, you're going to need more mods for Saturday night. That's for sure. How far behind am I? A few minutes. Holy crap! Russia ain't going to fuck their own supply. Yeah, no way. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Like they're trying to play that. The only way that's like possible, I think, is maybe if Russia done it to blame it on somebody else. You know, but man, that's a serious game to play right there because like Uncle Kenny said, this fixing that pipe. They're not calling the plumber in and have it fixed by 7 p.m. It ain't gonna happen. Relatives in Florida, yes, B. Lynn. Not so lucky. America did it, says Batmon. Must have been scary. The hurricane. Good bad. Gary complained about humans that are not imaginary. Get yourself a hand crank power generator. One power cell phone in case of power outages. You were one of them. I saw you, Batmom, and Donald like right there in a row on my chat, so I just grabbed you three. Keeps buffering. Oh crap! Brandon has put Americans in a precarious position. Yeah, they're trying to start. They're trying to come up. They're trying to make it seem reasonable why we're about to have World War III. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build us up into World War III. That's what they goddamn want. Whether they're successful in pulling this little game off, well, they've always been successful before. When they were ready to start a war, they found a way to start a war. Can mods kick out mods? I don't know. Hopefully none of that goes on. Gary says, Mr. Lee, please don't block me. I'm that person that tells it like it is, just saying. Batmon says, yeah, better be a mod since a few months ago, you and I, Lockie, were supposedly a couple. I'm not free, man. Were we? Were we a couple? Damn. If we were a couple, you definitely slacked on some of your duties. Just saying. That's joking. You're a lucky dude, Batmom. I would, though. I'll try to get back before you finish, Lockie. You are stuck with me. I'm trying, Miss Lee, but you guys just chat like mad. Where's the cash, Uncle Bones? I told you I charge for stocking. Wrenches for everyone. Well, I ain't doing wrenches for everyone, but and I can block these people, if I really want to, but sounds like some people want to be wrenches. So, but this is all just as long as everybody understands, we want free speech here. We're just really slapping down bots and serious trolls. Well, there's always, I mean, it depends on what you mean. Like tornadoes have gone over and been in the area, and yeah, I mean Oklahoma's, tornadoes all the time, but I've never been in a situation where I was, hiding in a hole somewhere and as the house was torn up. Haven't been in that situation. You get a wrench, y'all get a wrench. Donald, man. Chessboard says, Donald Fuller, I don't have to pay taxes on it. Uncle Bone says, Batmom, I'm having weekly sales. Be patient. Bake sales. Well, I mean, there's some other people that I would. I'm just saying, y'all were three that were right there that I could grab real quick and get back over onto the StreamYard. You might with Joe in office chessboard. Angel says it just got the notification only a half hour in. Yeah, I started it up real quick. I can't initiate it till I got the thumbnail down. But I was having a variety of technical issues, and I couldn't get the thumbnail. Something was stopping me from getting any picture to move into the thumbnail. So that's why the thumbnail has no picture on it. I just went ahead and just uploaded it without it, and I can fix it later. Robert Cecil, first Earl of Salisbury. What would I say? What did I say? Uncle Bone says, no notification for me. You must be lucky. That mom swinging the ranch. No notification? How'd you had to have had something, I would think. Big sock. Don says, I ain't paying no taxes on a wrench. I'll sell it. So, let's look at Styx Hexenhammer. He did a video about this situation. So he's always a good one to listen to about shit. He's actually over in the Netherlands, I think, right now.
I've got thoughts and doubts about the official storyline. Swedish seismic network registers blasts near pipeline leaks. The Swedish National Seismic Network says it detected 2 explosions close to unusual leaks on 2 Russian natural gas pipelines running under the Baltic Sea to Germany. Yes, the Nord Stream pipelines have been damaged and are currently inoperable because of this. This would have required, because it was clearly sabotage, at this point, I think that's beyond debate. It would have required that someone get into the area and send divers or a drone or something down, or really, really sophisticated system scanning the underwater area to drop an explosive next to it, perhaps, in order to blow the pipeline. Somebody was claiming that there was a U.S. ship only about 20 miles from there at the time of the explosions. Press X to doubt about that particular ship. It could have been any in the region at the time, but it's possible. Now, the official storyline that it was immediately gone with by the legacy media was that Russia did this. Russia scuttled the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines for potentially unknown reasons. I think there is a potential reason behind it, which should frighten people. But also people are saying, was it the US? Maybe it was the Germans themselves. Could it have been Ukrainian saboteurs? The only reason I can think of that Putin and the Russians would scuttle it is as a symbolic gesture. Because he's been throttling the gas supply anyway through both pipelines gleefully this entire time for months now, putting the screws to Europe because it became over-reliant on Russian natural gas. So the daytime...
I don't think they would destroy the pipeline, though. I don't think they would do it. I think he's wrong about that. B-Lynn says, I just checked my settings and turned back on notifications. I never, though, turned them off. Yeah, YouTube will do it. You got to check, and if you're like me, you have, like, so many subs that there's just no way to, I can't go through and check them all the time. So there's, I don't know. I just have to run into it later if YouTube has unsubbed me or turn my notifications down or something. Like, some people try to say, well, you accidentally clicked something. I'm like, yeah, I would have had to, actually physically gone to that page somewhere along the line, and I'm just not seeing it, and then that's just a stretch. YouTube does it. YouTube's trying to control the narrative on so many things that they do that stuff. They don't want people watching my channel. That's the thing. That's what's going on. It isn't slow. Send them in. Brandy's here. Welcome, Brandy. Mr. Lee says, "Nice pussy." Where's Ruthless? Ruthless bowed out. He missed the pussy, but he might even watch Sticks. I don't know. Angel, I believe it says B-Land. I just happened to check the time on my cell and saw Lockbeard was on. Donald says, B, sometimes I get unsubbed from channels. YouTube shenanigans. Yes, and yes. Mr. Lee says, Donald, same thing here. They unsubscribed me from Lockbeard at least 4 times. Yeah. So, I mean, you see what the deal is. I mean, it's an uphill battle every step of the way, you know. Yeah. So that's a whole nother ridiculous, stupid issue. I think we should look at Ken Wheeler next. That's not the order I had it in, but that's what we should do, I think, because we already addressed it. Like, we know what's going on, right? And we know that there's different theories. USA, possibly Russia, possibly Germany, possibly. Hell, you might even throw Ukraine in there, possibly. But is responsible for this act, and it sucks, because how many people are depending on that fuel for heat this coming winter. B-Lynn says too many people are getting unsubbed. It's so ridiculous. I need to now check every couple of days to make sure my favorite channels are still being subbed to. Mr. Lee says, sex again. Donald says, me too, Mr. Lee, but I think it's from my 20 covert channel names and they don't want you subbed on all of them. Mr. Lee says, Donald, you've been too greedy. That's why, man. All right, so let's just see what Ken Wheeler has to say.
Hello, something really huge and incredibly important has happened today, and the implications are huge. Superficially, if one doesn't give any thought to it, it might not seem that way, but they are huge. The Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipeline from Russia to Germany have been destroyed. Seismologists have declared that this is not an earthquake. There are two distinct explosions that were recorded. Claim that it is not natural. There's 5 different leaks. There's aerial photos of huge, enormous upwellings of natural gas. It is supposed to be millions and millions and millions of cubic liters of natural gas from the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipeline. Basically, everybody online is trying to blame Russia. The only people that would have to gain from this actually is the United States. Biden, when asked, I think it was like earlier this year, I forget when, but I remember this, and his quote was just asked about, well, what if Russia, goes into Ukraine? What does that do to affect the Nord Stream pipeline? And Biden's words exactly were, there won't be a Nord Stream 2 pipeline. I think I've got her name right. Her name is Victoria Nuland. She works for the White House. I forget, energy something another. And her exact words were, this is the White House mouthpiece, by the way. Her exact words were, many months ago, she said, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward. If you think, well, there's an explosion, these are, issues underwater where these were imploded and destroyed, just a small section, we could easily fix that. That's not the case. It actually puts salt water in the entire line. It's not a mere repair. We're talking about an extremely long time, if not years, to fix. And then you have corrosion in the line. Even if you were to repair a section very quickly, you have corrosion and damage throughout the line, which is incredible.
I agree with Ken. I think that this is definitely, it has to be the United States. It's got to be. And we don't have a declaration of war, do we? Do we have a declaration of war? Has Congress declared war? No. So this this is not a good thing to do right here. You know, why are we getting involved in this little situation? Why is it even our business? I know people care about people around the world, blah blah blah, and fucking Victoria Newman, there's Newland. She at some point she was talking about how, well, you know, this kind of stuff, we don't do something about this, and it starts happening everywhere. Whatever bullshit she was spinning, and so this is like a year ago when they start because you know a lot of people aren't paying attention. You know what these assholes in this little room right here are doing. You got to watch these assholes.
The senator from Texas is recognized. Mr. President, I want to talk today about Russia. I want to talk about Vladimir Putin. I want to describe to this chamber a bipartisan victory that together we won. And then I want to describe tragically how President Joe Biden is giving that victory away to Putin and Russia.
Victory of what?
To understand this issue.
But no, shut the fuck up.
We need to go.
Victory again? Are we at war with Putin? How can we have a victory? Like what? What are you talking about? See, you know, I'm not on this guy's side either. Fuck this guy. Okay, all these people are playing a little game here to like we're fighting to decide blah blah blah. This interaction, this kind of shit where he's talking about Biden letting the, you know, victory and all this shit is designed to get you worked up and thinking that we need to do something about Russia, to get us involved in a big fucking war that is completely orchestrated, right? Do you really believe that any of this shit's left a chance? Do you really believe that? That these people did not sit down and talk with Putin? Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is the blah, blah, blah. This is how we get people behind the war. And then we're going to have a war. We're going to kill a bunch of your citizens. You're going to kill a bunch of our citizens. We're going to blow some shit up. All our people are going to make a bunch of goddamn money. We're going to take a bunch of rights away from the people and get more power for ourselves. And everything's going to be great. That's what this fucking shit's about.
To double the amount of Russian natural gas going to Germany via the Baltic Sea. Completion.
He's talking about the because they hadn't completed the Nord Stream at the time of this conversation here. Let me back this up just a little bit. That's too much. Hold on. Come on now.
Mafia run gas company disguised as a country. The dangerous pipeline is going to double the amount of Russian natural gas going to Germany via the Baltic Sea. Completion of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline is going to further tighten's grip on European gas supplies and extend the threatening influence. Because, as I said before, energy is the master resource. We know Russia uses energy to coerce, to manipulate.
They use it as a geopolitical weapon.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Get this guy off the goddamn screen. Listen, the only reason there's an energy shortage is because they made it that way. They orchestrated it. These guys are part of, they did this. They need to make Russia out to be this enemy over here, and they're doing this and that because we don't have enough energy. The reason why we don't have enough energy in Europe, or they don't, is because that's the way things are by design. That could be changed really easily, but they don't do it. They don't do it, and they do it on purpose because they want an excuse to get into wars all the time. This whole thing is about trying to start a big fucking war, and it's a scam. It's a scam. Donald says, well, I got to have these channels when you get blocked from Petchkov and a few others that can't handle the questions. Yeah, Batmom, I'm a dick. Just Sports here says, Lockbeard, I watched the vid here. They said the EU was talking about dropping sanctions on Putin, destroying the Nord, now takes that off the table. Yeah, I mean, because, you know, but just a goddamn mess. For one, the EU shouldn't even goddamn exist, but that's a whole nother issue. Donald says, so this is Kim Wheeler, Mr. Lee's favorite YouTuber. It's a lot of people's favorite YouTuber. Chessboard comes over here from there. So does what the hell? We got another fucking Donald, one of them, yes. Donald, chat shut right down. Did another show start? Chat shut right down. I don't know. Puppets told you, yeah, there's another damn bot. Bot got put the dinner in the oven. Got to put the dinner in the oven. Oh. Mr. Lee says, Donald, I see it still comes up live chat. The trolls, even after you block. Raptor says, sorry about the other night. I was trying not to get you riled up. I hope you have a good evening at Lockbeard. Yeah, Raptor, it's just, man, look, stop worrying about people blocking you. Like, you say it all the time, and that's bugging people. That itself, like, and you know, when you come here, it's free speech. Like, no one's going to block you here. So just, but even when you go to other channels that you're not sure about, don't start out with, when you first get there, is anybody going to block me here? No, don't say that. Don't say that. Never say that again. If you like, because that's become like your MO. The first thing you do when you show up in a chat, you're like, oh, is anybody going to block me here? No, just don't even start with that. Just talk. And try not to be an asshole, because you got to understand every channel's got their own different rules on their channel, and some of them are heavier with the ban hammer than others. But man, I don't know why you were doing it here, because you're not going to get banned here unless you just turn into a straight up troll. But welcome to the chat. Have to go. Be safe. See you later, Raptor. Thanks for coming though. So yeah, this is all, they orchestrated this shit. They set it up to where Europe was too dependent on that Russian fuel. They could change that really easily. They did this shit on purpose, man. Now let me find, where the hell? Okay. Now you saw Ken mentioning that Joe Biden, what he said. So it would be, it's a really good thing for you to see him say it yourself. This was back in January or February of this year. January or February of this year is when this happened here. And yeah. So this lady, she just asked her questions. A lot of it was in other language. There was some translation going on. So, but we're going to start right where he answers the question and says what Ken was talking about.
Measures?
Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control?
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Thank you very much for the
question.
question.
I want to be absolutely clear. We have intensively prepared everything to be ready with the necessary sanctions if there is a military aggression against Ukraine. And this is necessary. It is necessary that we do.
You saw the important part. Sounds pretty ominous, doesn't it? Pretty ominous. February 2022 says chessboard. Yeah, I think that video was February 7th, but it could have been days before. But yeah, Biden's eyes look reptilian. Sex sites. Yeah. And then, of course, there is this other person. Let me bring this up. Victoria Newland, Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs.
With regard to Nord Stream 2, we continue to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. If Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
How can you say that for sure? Where does your confidence come from on that?
As I said, we've had extensive consultations at every level with our German allies. I'm not going to get into the specifics here today, but we will work with Germany to ensure that the pipeline does not move forward.
Sorry, just to follow up again on that. But, is there an assurance that you have from the Germans? Because what the Germans have said publicly doesn't match with what you're saying exactly. And the agreement that you guys signed last year doesn't specifically say if Russia invades Ukraine, we will cut off the pipeline. So is there something new that Germany has said to you in the last 24 hours that's changed your language on that?
Well, first of all, I would say go back and read the document that we signed in July that made very clear about the consequences for the pipeline if there is further aggression on Ukraine by Russia. That's one thing. Second, I think the statements coming out of Berlin even today are very, very strong, as they were by Emily Hopper from the embassy today.
Sorry, can I just follow up?
Hopefully there wasn't too much echo on that. Could you guys hear that just fine? I still don't know how to eliminate the echo without jumping back on the StreamYard, hitting the mute, and then, that's a problem with this whole system here. Lowrider says Brandon just told us. Yep. Donald says, honey. Yeah, if they were relying on Biden to personally take care of Nord Stream 2, yeah, nothing would have happened. He's probably got a very weak stream himself, but again, he's just the puppet that's sitting there. So, Lowrider says Biden eats the red crayons first. It was fine. Like, did you hear an echo? Because, I mean, it seems like it doesn't happen every time. I don't know how to make it not happen all the time. But while she was talking, there was no echo. Because, I mean, I've gone back and I've looked at some live streams, and when that echo's there, like, you can't really hear anything because it's all garbled up. Only towards the end. So, I mean, it was pretty much like, it's pretty damning, isn't it? I mean, they basically were saying they're going to do whatever they want. They couldn't just come out and say, hey, we're going to blow it up. But, I mean, come on. That's a lot of, that's a lot of money for Russia. Russia doesn't need to lose that income. I'm sure the German people don't want to lose. They need the gas. They need the cheap gas. And, of course, in the U.S., it keeps wanting to get involved in this business. And I think that they're trying to set the stage to start a very, very orchestrated World War III. Now, it may not be called that at first. There'd be, various countries getting involved one by one, and to some extent, and then as a group to another extent. But I think history will remember if they're successful in making this happen. I don't know. Maybe there's enough elements of good people in the governments that are involved to put a stop to this plan. But it looks to me like they're trying to orchestrate World War III here, and everything about it is orchestrated. There is absolutely, like I was talking about, electricity in the homes. The government has had plenty of time, and we got plenty of good technology to do this, to set it up where every single person's home is self-sufficient. That's not even a problem, and it would make more sense because the cost, it would be cheaper in the long run. I mean, just from around here, and especially just, well, it's all the way across the nation where in the wintertime you'll have a belt of ice, right, and it'll tear everything up. I was pinned down on Grand Lake for about two weeks without power, which was not as much of a problem for me as it was for other people up there, but because just chop wood and whatnot. But that shouldn't have happened, and it wouldn't have happened. But that's just the one issue, like because we're dependent on the power lines bringing the power to our houses. You eliminate that, I mean, millions and millions of dollars every time something like that happens, where you have massive ice storm damage and brings down the power, for weeks at a time. That's causing all kinds of, that's shutting down businesses. They're not making money. It's hugely disastrous and totally unnecessary. We could eliminate that issue entirely. We could have done it years and years ago, but they won't take the step because they want people on that leash. You're trapped. Like, you're not self-sufficient. They don't want you self-sufficient. You smell the ICA, says Troy. Welcome to the chat, Troy, by the way. Mr. Lee says reset's coming, better be ready. Yeah, well, they've been doing it this whole time, haven't they? The phrase has slipped out of their own mouths, and it's just just like with everything, and the New World Order slipped out of was it Bush Jr.? I think Bush Jr.'s mouth, and they just, it's like I don't know what the fuck, if they're just, are they, on one hand, I can't believe that they're that fucking idiotic that they let slip, some of their secrets. And then on the other hand, I wonder if that's part of their plan. Like, some people say that they because that they're part of some kind of cult that kind of requires that they show their hand a little bit. I don't know about that. But it's weird. Or if they're just trying to use those words to try and get people used to the idea that that's just kind of what happened. That's just what happening. It's normal. It's no big deal. I don't know, but something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. Angel says a friend in Germany says they're talking about power outages this winter already. Yeah, what happens then, man? What happens then? They're gonna have a hard winter, and part of to cause war, sometimes you make life hard on the citizens to get them to be behind it, to make them supportive of it, thinking, well, there's a reason, because this shit's going down, we got to do something about it, and so let's go kick somebody's ass. The government says it's their fault, so let's go kick their ass. Hopefully the citizens of Europe, figure out that they need to do something. They need to Well, there's arrests that need to happen, right? Governments need to be cleaned out and put citizens into office who are going to do the right thing for the people and who are going to stand up to the United States, because the United States is just doing whatever the fuck they want, apparently. And they need to just stay the fuck out of Europe's business. If somebody needs to get involved with the Russians and the Ukrainians having a little spat over there, then let their immediate neighbors deal with it. We're on the other side of the goddamn planet. How about we just sit over here and mind our own damn business? Europe can handle it if that's what needs to be done. But I don't think that's what needs to be done. I think this is all part of the plan. Angel, everything's gone up, says Mr. Lee. Troy says it hurt Germany the most. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to, how are they going to keep their houses warm if they can't get, the fuel that they're dependent on this. They need that natural gas. Ken, we didn't see his whole video. Of course, you can go watch this whole video if you want. Is calling this an ecological disaster or environmental disaster. He called it an environment. He wouldn't use the word the terrorism, but eco-terrorism, environmental terrorism. While somebody's probably going to get the idea to say, hey, that's natural gas. It's largely methane. Methane is a greenhouse gas 20 times more powerful than CO2. And then they're going to try to say, oh my gosh, we got to have more regulations to counteract the effect of all this natural gas. You morons, natural gas is coming out of so many, just countless organisms on this planet at all times. Everywhere where there's rotting vegetation, everywhere where there is a rhino farting, it's part of the ecosystem. It's part of how all of this fucking works. That's not the problem. The problem is the implications this has for humans' energy needs and the war that this could be used to help justify not just this, but it would be factored in. This is not. I don't agree with Ken that this is an environmental or disaster. Really, it's not good. But Mother Nature can deal with a little natural gas. It's natural gas. It's fine. It's not an issue. I mean, so hopefully nobody's thinking that this is a big environmental disaster. It really isn't. Now, in the immediate area, there's going to be some organisms that are going to have a problem, but it's really not that big an issue. So let's get that out of our head. This is more about the political implications, the whether or not Germans are able to keep warm this winter, and whether or not we end up in World War III before this is all over. Donald says, seems to work good when you mute, but then we need the remote shot color to get you to turn off the mute. Gulf of Tonkin, yes. 9/11, yes. Now gas pipe 2022, yes. Government either lies and says something happens, or they do something to justify a war. False flag attack, like that right there, was definitely a false flag attack. That right there, they just kind of lied about what really went down, and it was a lie. It was a lie. There wasn't really. And this, I think, the U.S. government straight up ordered this to happen. Or someone else that we're like, hey, you're one of our allies. We would like you guys to handle something so it doesn't look like, to help keep the dogs off the trail. Jesper says, Lockbeard, it only takes the press of one button to wipe your bank account out and one to end humanity. Yeah. Horrible situation. Chessboard says, Mr. Lee, if the snake's heads are not cut off, it will continue. Mr. Lee says, Chessboard, you can still get bit after the snake head's been cut off. Yeah. Yeah. What if you get to the top guy? What if you got him on the run, you've gotten most of them, and you've gotten to the top guy, and then you throw him in jail and or even, you know, more harsh punishment. And he failed to mention that there's kind of a he's got things set up to where if he doesn't enter a code somewhere, I hate to give them ideas. They probably aren't this prepared. But let's say he's got it set up to where if he does not personally enter a code that only he knows every single day by a certain time, that all the missiles launch. And so he tells everybody, so look, this is the way it is. We got it set up. You guys make sure that nothing happens to me, like all the elite and stuff. And if it does, this whole bitch is going down. You know, who knows? They might have something like that set up to where even if we win, we still lose because they'll just burn it all. Yeah, but it won't return. Chessboard says the low rider goes way back further than that. Mr. Lee says Ken Wheeler's channel. Yeah, that's Ken Wheeler's channel. Hey, just when he gets to talking about the science stuff, it's going to take time. You're kind of gonna, for one, if you don't understand quantum physics at all, you're probably completely fucked anyway. Let's be real, you know. And I understand not everybody has the interest in it to really understand it, but you got to understand you're about to deconstruct the ridiculous freaking cult religion that is quantum physics, because it is. It's not science. It's just some bullshit they cooked up, and your average citizen doesn't really understand it well enough to know, and they don't see the holes. They don't know the science. Well, the parts that are actual science, some of it's anyway. It's going to take you time. He's got like 7,000 videos. Unless you're interested in photography, you're going to have to sort those out. Unless you're interested in Buddhism, you're going to have to sort those out. Although there's some interesting stuff, you know, because he knows multiple languages. He translates ancient Pali and all these. So he knows like what some of this stuff actually means, because today in all our religions people think, you know, like with the Bible, right, you know, they think that Eve talked to a snake in a tree. That's not what the original writings said. That's not what they said. The translation's been all fucked up and they misunderstood stuff. But some of the important stuff is their understanding of what you would call spirituality as it's a scientific thing. The ancients knew what the fucking ether. Well, they knew about the ether. They may not have fully understood its nature, but they knew about the ether. And yeah, so you're gonna learn about this stuff, and if you go watch his stuff, and it's going to take you time to wrap your mind around it. It just is. So people who don't believe in spiritual stuff, well, the most important thing to understand is that the spiritual stuff, spiritual is a loaded term, right? I hate to use. I don't know what else to call. We need a different word for it, but that's what we got. That's how I'm just saying what people call the spiritual actually is a completely scientifically explainable function of reality. And so you'll start to kind of hopefully understand that, you know, because Ken's, I don't know who else is really explaining this, trying to, like he is. You know, most of the people, like he references, as scientists who are fucking dead, like Tesla, like Steinmetz, like Heaviside. Most the scientists in the mainstream right now, like they all seem to be, I guess, bought off for the most part. Some of them, they don't truly understand what the problem is. Too many they're too specialized, so they don't have a broad enough understanding of things so they're looking at things through a peephole. And this is where your generalist, you need people who have studied a broader spectrum of different related sciences to understand that there's the big picture and how some of this stuff is wrong. But that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, it's yeah. I don't know what else to say about that right now. Gary says the military should say enough is enough all around the world and get things back on track. Well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean say enough is enough? Like stand up to their own governments, giving them illegal orders, telling them to fire on innocent civilians and wage wars that are illegal without Congress declaring war. The president is not a king. He cannot just order a war. He must declare war. Congress must declare war. Mr. Lee says, be careful, Lockbeard. I want to watch Saturday's show. Troy says, I believe they, whoever they may be, was mad about Putin milking Europe. I bet Commander Poopy Pants made that decision. If these nations are independent nations as they portray them, but I don't believe they're independent nations. I think they want us to think stuff like that, but I think Putin sits in on the same meeting with the other world leaders, with the powerful people that actually pull all their strings behind the scenes, because they don't want you knowing who they are, right? The real people running the show. And playing his part. He's supposed to be playing the next enemy in the next war. And I imagine China will be joining Russia's side and all of that. But if that goes down, but I think everybody knows that next World War III, Russia and China are gonna probably be the buddies, the allies at that point. And but they want us to think that they didn't this isn't a scam. Like the war, we're not really fighting them. They orchestrated it. Troy says kind of backfired on them. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Hit the likes. Just versus your analogy is probably spot on. As scientists are now saying AI will take over and humanity will not be able to stop it. Who programmed who? Yeah, who programmed who? He were the first like. Gary says to weed out the jackasses. Trying to turn down my brightness, but now I don't have any light on me. Troy said, "Well, hold on. The problem is, we could end up with a military dictatorship if they are true oath keepers about it, but not all military men are, and that's the danger." Troy says, point taken and agreed. Well, you don't have to agree with me. I just not buying it. I'm not buying that they're leaving any of this up to chance. I think all the governments in the world recognize the value of keeping the people afraid of other nations, even and thinking that there's all these nations that we don't control that sometimes do shit that are harmful to us. And I think it's all bullshit. I think it's all bullshit. Keep the people confused and never understanding that they're worried about their new world government coming into play, but it's actually already been here a long time. Chessboard says, he who sits in the dark casts no shadow. Yeah. Donald says, or Mr. Lee says, Donald, you still there, man? Donald might have slipped out. Chessboard. Troy says, I do believe there is a lot of infighting for position. There may be. A lot of people think that there is, but that there's like legit fighting. But I think that most of the fighting that we see publicly is we're meant to see it, like they want us to see it and think that they're actually fighting and not actually all working together. And they may not be perfect about it. I don't know, but like someone brought up before, not tonight, but how are you going to go from Vice President cocksucker? How are you going to go from her in a debate, getting on Biden's case like she did, and then the next thing you know, he's picking her as his VP? No. I mean, who in their right mind's going to do that? He's surely hit. I mean, for one, if you're running for president, you don't already have your VP picked out beforehand. Like, you haven't thought this out that far ahead. Yeah, maybe you're not the president we need if you didn't know who your vice president was going to be a long time before the debate started. Donald says, I'm back. Sounded mom took a fall next door, had to check on her. Oh, is she okay? Mr. Lee says, Donald, man, is she okay? Yeah, Mr. Lee said that too. Chessboard says, Troy, it's like eating eating what? One slip of the tongue and you're in deep shit. Not sure. Shit sandwich? Eating a shit sandwich? Jody says, hey, the party picks the vice president, not the president. Yeah, but Donald says, yeah, Mr. Lee, it was my brother's kids. They're noisy. Yeah, but all that was orchestrated, though. Like, I mean, really, we're going back to Snatch? Oh, shit. You can't say Snatch on here? What the hell? What the fuck? Like, ultimately, I don't think, like, the whole damn thing's a scam, right? I don't think any voters picked anything. I mean, this last election, everybody should look at that and see that it was just fixed as hell. And I don't know if they were just being more obvious about it to see how much we would just tolerate of obvious cheating or what. But there was obvious cheating, right? And they don't need to be obvious about the cheating. They could do all this so secret no one ever fucking knows. I mean, this shit's in the computers. Again, few flicks on the keyboard and shit just happens. And so it's like they want you to know that they're doing it for some reason. Donald says, yes, Mr. Lee, it was my brother's kids. They are noisy. Over the heads. Gary says, to wage war, sending troops, that's all of these world. Killing each other is like for what? Getting these worthless ones in power to get even richer. Yeah, that's all it's about. Well, keeping them in power. At this point, I think they want to thin us all out. I think they're about done with us. The more automated things get to where they don't really need us anymore. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, will other people be on your panel on Saturday? If so, well, no, I didn't plan on having a panel or anything. Again, I don't normally have anyone else on here. I'm just saying at this point on this particular issue, because there's been so much response in private messages about this. Perhaps the people that have a problem with this need to see some of the other people and not thinking this is just me being an asshole, that there's other people that have some issues here and with what's been going on. And I don't know, that's up to them. If one or two of those people want to jump on, I'm not looking to debate anyone about this though, so the other side can go bloviate on their own channels or something. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying what I think about this and going on. Now, if they want to make a big issue of it, we can, I can make more videos. Definitely thinning the herd, says Jody. Chessboard says Uncle Bones, no need for him to go on Wheel of Fortune. Donald Fuller says, Mr. Lee 3PO, you'll be in the co-host chair. Yeah, Mr. Lee, like I went back and listened to the replay. You didn't hardly talk. Though. You need to get you talking. Somebody kept interrupting you when you were trying to talk, though. But I'm just saying. But yeah, you need to actually get to talk. Mr. Lee says, Donald, no, you. Pine Island's here. Welcome. He says, I'll come on, laugh my ass off. Mr. Lee says, no more Jeff. Holy shit. Oh, come on. Let's not Uncle Bones saying hi to Jeff. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, I'm scared. Well, don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. How far? We're 7:30. 7:33. Gary says, well, Mr. Lockbeard, just what is your opinion? 2, what's really happening? I think I've said that already, though. Really. I think the U.S. damaged the Nord Streams, and I think that Biden and Victoria Nuland both pretty much alluded to that 9 months ago. We looked at those videos and saw that. I'm not buying any of the ridiculous ideas that people have about why Russia would blow up the pipeline that transports the natural gas that makes them a lot of damn money for whatever political reason. That's just so goddamn crazy. It's just unbelievable. I don't think Germany, because I think there's been some suggestions that Germany did it. I don't see Germany doing it. They want that natural gas. The U.S. is over here trying to put their nose in everybody's business over there. Again, talking in this regards as if we are separate nations instead of all controlled by one world government behind the scenes. Which, how do we confirm that? All I can say is what I think on that, right? So, but a lot of very intelligent people think the U.S. definitely did it, and I mean, the words that came out Biden's mouth sure were ominous. So, Chessboard says, Mr. Lee, no need to be scared. It will all be over in a flash. And Mr. Lee says, Chessboard, not really. Donald says, Mr. Lee will warm up to it. Yeah, he might. Mr. Lee says, is that Mogs fella on later? He might not be. I don't know. It was a pretty rough hurricane. I'm going to say this to the people out there. There's people out there, you know, the suggestion that this is, this bad hurricane, this global warming, blah, blah, blah. Don't use this to fuel your bullshit. Don't stand on the graves of the people that have died in hurricanes to support your ridiculous lie, political agenda bullshit. Stop it. Just fucking stop it. Bad hurricanes happen every so often. End of goddamn story. But that's a whole nother subject. I don't think we need to jump down that right now. But yeah, I mean, we're going to quit here shortly, and then you guys can, I know a lot of you are going to be going over the Mogs channel, and hopefully he is able to get on. But it's a possibility that he will not be able to. So let's hope everything is all right. Rex says, I'm really late. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the chat, Rex. Chessboard says, Mr. Lee, like they told the boys at Alamogordo, don't forget to put your goggles on. Mr. Lee says, Rex Handy missed everything, dude. Of course, Mr. Lee said that. Donald says, if they have power, I'm sure he will be Mr. Lee. Don't think they got hit that bad. He was able to message Lockbeard to back down. Well, shh, quiet. I got messages from a lot of people. Rex says, just got off work, damn planes. Yeah. Shh, quiet, fellas. It was nice message. Chessboard says, hello, Rex Hand. Uncle Bone says, Rex Hand, hello. Lowriders, Rex Hand, you a mechanic? That's what I heard, Mr. Lee says, Donald. Gary says, fair enough, Mr. Lockbeard. Just wanted to hear it once again. Fair answer. Awesome. Lowrider says, Rex Hand, 33 years, AMP here. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, I will have plenty of questions for Saturday's show. Well, I don't know, like, I feel like things have really blown out of proportion a little bit on the matter. Again, I'm a little fish. Why is this big fish worried about what I'm going to say? But But the reality is that even if I have to word things a little different to satisfy whatever bullshit, it's still what I think is still going to come out one way or another. If my channel shut down, I'll just start another. It's going to go on Rumble. It's going to go on Bitchute. It's going to go on Odysee. And if there's anything that happens to hinder me in those regards, channel getting shut down, channel getting reported, any kind of bullshit. I mean, I went through that bullshit with D2D DOS, threatening me with legal action, and I said, bring it. Because he couldn't make legal action. There was no legal action. One, when you're a public figure, you're kind of open season to the most extent anyway. But the point is if you come at me, my instinct is to find a way to get to return fire, one way or another. And so there was a certain thing and a certain message that irritated the piss out of me. Should never happen. I should have never got a message. I should have never got that message. But there it was, and it really riles me up to the point where, yeah. Like, I'm a little channel. What are you worried about? Truth Finder UK says, take it live, my guy. Welcome to the chat, Truth Finder. New name in the chat. Chessboard says, Lowrider, 35 years, C5, flight simulation civilian. Rex Hand says, all right, Chessboard, how you doing? Drake's here, welcome. He says, Lockbeard and crew. Chessboard says, Rex, good, thank you for asking, and you. Oh, man. Got one clip I didn't play, but we could take a look at that real quick before we wrap her up. Might as well. I don't think, did I play this one? No.
On the border. Meantime, powerful explosions rattled the Baltic Sea before the European authorities discovered unusual leaks on the two Nord Stream pipelines. That today from seismologists in Sweden and Denmark. The leaks do raise concern about the possible sabotage as Europe faces a growing energy crisis. Denmark's military officials releasing this video today. It shows a swirling mass of natural gas bubbling up on the surface of the Baltic Sea. Sky News' Shabani Robbins reports on the fallout of that leak.
The pipelines run more than 1,000 kilometers under the Baltic Sea to Germany. The first leak was reported on the never-opened Nord Stream 2 line on Monday, east of the island of Bornholm. Then on Tuesday, 2 leaks were found on the nearby Nord Stream 1, with Swedish scientists detecting explosions.
We know very well what an underwater blast looks like. And so in this case, there's no doubt this is not an earthquake. This is a blast that has been occurring in the water column or close to the bottom.
The cause of the damage is still being investigated. Ukraine's accused Russia of a terrorist attack, while Moscow says it's making its own inquiries, also claiming the pipelines have been deliberately destroyed, while experts are speculating what could have caused this damage. Convinced this was the result of a deliberate act, Denmark will meet the NATO chief on Wednesday to discuss the leak. If sabotage is confirmed here, that could mark a new and serious escalation in the energy war raging alongside the conflict in Ukraine. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News.
I'm pretty sure everybody agrees at this point that it was in fact sabotage. It was blown up intentionally. Donald says, chessboard, I spent hours as a kid on flight simulators when Dad brought home our first personal computer. Loved that stuff. Would love to play with your tech. Yeah, just ignore the ship, Smith. Yeah. Chessboard says, Donald Fuller, I retired in 14 years. Simulators all very rewarding. Drake says, Uncle Bones. Go fist bump. Yeah. Well, since you mentioned clowns.
Was it like a circus clown or a hobo clown or what?
What's the difference?
Hobo clowns are the most dangerous because they're hungry.
In case any of y'all don't know, that's a clip from the Orville. Despite what Mr. Lee says, it is a good show. Chessboard says, Donald Fuller, I retired in 15. Oh, I already read that one, didn't I? Well, sort of. Mr. Lee says, hit it, Knuckleheads. Chessboard says, Donald Fuller, each sim was around 60 million. Uncle Bones, you laugh at the clown. The clown, where's Joe? Where's Western New York Bigfoot Investigation Group at? I found a nice little clip just for him.
You, sir, are officially an Uber driver.
Oh, there goes Mr. Lee. The Orville's rubbish. What's wrong with you, Mr. Lee? Uncle Bone says, I love the Orville. The Orville is pretty awesome. It's more comedy oriented, but at times it's getting to be kind of a serious sci-fi show. Maybe it'll turn straight up into one, but a lot of people out there feel like this is the best successor to Star Trek we have ever since it's been completely destroyed with the new stuff that they've put out. Donald says, yes, chessboard, I've watched videos on them. It's incredible training technology. It's not Red Dwarf, though. Yeah, man, I cannot bring myself to look at any more Red Dwarf, Mr. Lee.
You plotting on me, boy?
Rex says, that was funny. That was fucking funny. Well, are you talking about the Joe's clip? I still got the old one because he was talking to people about the Who band, the HU Who, not the Who, but the HU, the Who band. Some badass Mongolian hard rock motherfuckers. We haven't had our reminder about for a while. Short little clip where Tex is basically advocating for genocide. It's yeah.
Term loosely. I believe there's people out there that should not be allowed to reproduce.
There are.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you on that. I completely agree with you on that. But
wow, that's a freedom-loving motherfucker right there. Donald says, I think he did a show Lock Everyone Disappeared at one point. You do what now? You think he did a show? Who, Joe? He didn't have a show tonight, did he? Didn't think he had a show for a couple days. Chessport says Donald Fuller and NPC sim visuals and flight characteristics are pretty realistic for what they are. What do you mean, what the fuck? What are you talking about? What the fuck, Mr. Lee? Are you talking about what Tex said in that clip? Not allowed. Not allowed to breed. Yeah, he wants to. He thinks that people should be taking it just straight up, take the right away to have babies. I wonder who gets to pick which ones. Donald says, yeah, Chess, but to be in the cockpit that reacts to your input is cool. Chessport says, was that Charlie Daniels? No, that was Tex from Texas Front Porch, along with some cohorts. Yeah, it's a Bigfoot channel where he actually believes he saw some he believes he saw dogmen. He saw werewolves. He believes he saw werewolves. The guy on the top left, he believes the earth is like 6,000 years old or some bullshit, and he thinks there's a bunch of pterosaurs flying around, although I have yet to see any evidence of that whatsoever. It would be cool if there were, but and I think there's certainly a very real possibility that they could be, and they're very rare and very isolated and lay low or whatever, but quite unlikely that something like that would go undetected this long. But he thinks that because he believes that's Jason McLean on the top left, and he thinks that because he claims to have seen a pterosaur, he believes that's evidence to support 6,000-year-old Earth. And I'm like, dude, like, you don't need the pterosaurs. There's other animals that survive the extinction, the turtles, the crocodilians, and so forth, that are basically in the same form as they were back then, with some changes, but they're still here. The coelacanth and other stuff. That's why not use things that everyone knows exist? Why you got to use something that most people don't believe exists, and they have only your ridiculous claim to base its existence on, and then you're going to try and use that as evidence for the Earth being 6,000 years old? I mean, damn. You know, it's no wonder we got flat earthers popping up now. It's no wonder. But yeah, I mean, if there was, I mean, I could play that stupid thing again. Where'd it go? Where did it go? There it is.
Term loosely. I believe there's people out there that should not be allowed to reproduce.
There are.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you on that. I completely agree with you on that. But
yeah, I believe that was the Fourth Reich right there. They're going to start with the Jews, I'm sure. Donald says 3 individuals right there should follow what Tex just said. Yeah. Donald Fuller motion-based sims are awesome. Donald, yes, man, that's outrageous. Yeah. To be honest, you know, perhaps we shouldn't take them 100% seriously, but you know, the clip is what the clip is. It's, you know, there it is. You take it however you want. I am looking. I'm looking to see if. Oh, fuck, man. You know what I forgot? Squatch America's tonight. We're overlapping on Squatch America, and they're going to be done any minute now. So not even any point in going over there at this point. But I definitely think you guys should check out their channel. They're really nice people. They seem to be trying to keep shit real. Although they have Cliff Barackman on here, who again, this is another entertainment person that automatically discredits the fuck out of him if he was on TV. Again, like some of us have said, we don't believe they let you on TV to actually try to find Bigfoot. That's just not even what's going on there. I see Survivor Man - Les Stroud is live. But I don't think he's talking about Bigfoot stuff, and he really shouldn't, because his Bigfoot show was just utter complete failure. He should have never done Bigfoot, and he needs to stay in his fucking lane. He just does. He was trying to cash in on the subject too. Another entertainer trying to cash in on the subject. And at this point, I used to like his Survivor Man stuff, but at this point, he can kind of fuck off. It's just bullshit right there, man. Why the fuck? We got enough people trying to cash in, like this Cliff Barackman, like the guy we're going to talk in about Saturday, who spent years cashing in. And now he anyway, yeah, it's a whole nother deal. So I don't know. I don't see Mogs. I don't see a notification for Mogs. So what do y'all want to do? Maybe we can hang a minute and see what happens. But if Mogs comes on, we'll go ahead and shut her down. Night Dreams Talk Radio. It's got 3 people over there watching him. Peter Kane Dog Training Live. He's got 21 people over there so that he can verbally abuse their ass. That guy's an asshole. I'm not seeing Mogs. I'm not seeing a notification for Mogs. Is anyone else seeing a notification for Mogs? Icon says, Mr. Lee, hope you didn't miss anything this evening. There's a test on Friday. Take the test. Squatch America, good, yes. Yeah, I forgot they were on tonight. Oh, I don't know why the hell. They're only on for an hour. They're on from 7 to 8 on Thursday. So, hopefully this is the last time I forget they're on. But for whatever reason, it's just that time slot is cursed somehow, or I can't ever seem to remember. Donald says, lock after them Vermont footcast. I have lost interest. I dug into a big nothing burger. Mr. Lee says Moog said he may not come on. Yeah, that's what we're trying to see. Uncle Bone says stay on. Lowrider says Squatchtainment. Yeah. Moog is Thursday. Yeah, it is Thursday, and we are less than a minute from 8 p.m. Central Time. And normally Mogs is on at this time. But I'm not seeing a notification, so it may mean that the hurricane has knocked out his power. Hopefully he's okay. Try to reload here and see if a note, maybe he's just late popping his live stream up. And I'm still not seeing anything. Still not saying anything. Any of y'all that are into like the movies and TV shows and stuff like that, the Midnight's Edge After Dark, he's live right now. Apparently talking about Planet of the Apes update, Rings of Power #1. So if y'all are interested in that. And Rings of Power looks like it's a complete clusterfuck of dumbassery. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking with some of the shit I've seen, the clips I've seen. Like, that's not Galadriel. That woman is acting nothing like Galadriel. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they race swapped a bunch of shit, and really, they clearly tried to rub all kinds of woke up in this bitch. It's crazy. The Experiencer Support Association channel is live right now. Beyond the Tinfoil Hat. 9 watching. They usually have a very low watch number as well. So, take that for what it's worth. Icon asked, when did we get to Thursday? Yeah, I ask that every Thursday. Rex says, good Lord, what are we going to do now? I don't know. Angel says, internet, cell towers may be out there. Yeah, definitely. Mr. Lee says, I checked Moog's not on. Hope everything is okay. And Jay Fritz too. Yeah. I imagine a lot of power and a lot of internet is out down there. So it was okay last night. Mr. Lee says, Rings of Power, girlfriend likes, very disappointed. Well, I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. Like, they're trying to be all feminist about this shit, but they make these female characters that are absolute complete cunts. And Galadriel in Rings of Power is a complete cunt. So is She-Hulk. Like, she's an insufferable bitch. You don't want anything to, like, seriously, I hope that actress, I hope none of her actual personality is coming out in her acting of this character, because I don't see why anyone would want to be anywhere near that bitch. She's fucking no. Mitch Lee says, cheese, fellow ginger. Yep, fellow ginger. Welcome to the chat, cheese. Donald says, them Vermont casts were well within normal human size and cast on a beach, Lockbeard. Yeah, it's funny, they get these human size casts and they're like, well, this is a juvenile Sasquatch. Oh, shit. Mr. Lisa's icon. No, technically speaking, it's Friday. Well, for you, it's Friday. What is it, like 2 a.m. in the UK? Friday? No, it's not Friday. Is it Friday for you yet? Yeah, it is. Isn't it? Isn't it? Gary says, I'll volunteer. Sees ya all. You'll volunteer for what? Icon says, come to think of it, whatever happened to June? It wasn't done. I wasn't done with it yet. Yeah, it flew by. Donald says, Beast TV's live. Oh, are they? Because I didn't see the notification for them. I think YouTube's figured out I don't want to watch people. Like, I don't want to watch them. Like, I don't see them here. Maybe I need to refresh again. I don't know. Let's try refreshing again. See what pops up. Oh, man. Oh, come on. It's going slow. It's going slow. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Are they supposed to be on? I can't remember their times anymore. Not really interested. You guys allowed a audio thief to come on and lie about stealing audio. So she was caught. Just admit it. Don't double down, because you might have a relationship with somebody. Mr. Lee says, Beast of the Woods on now. Oh, well, I'm not going over there. Sorry. I just explained part of the reason why. Icon says, Mr. Lee, oh yeah, it must be around 10 a.m. by my Japan weather, sweethearts. Uncle Bone says, good night, Gary Johnson, if you're leaving. Yep. Nikki says, you guys want me to come on? Of course they do, Nikki. If Mogs is not going to be on, of course they want you to come on. I certainly don't want to go for another even 10 minutes at this point. Tired. But everybody's used to watching Mogs at this time, and it does appear that he's not able to go live. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these people will show up over there if you go live. Sure enough, says Rex. Grasshopper says, oh, hello, Grasshopper. Rex says, Mr. Lee, set your clock back 6 hours. Be my bedtime. Mr. Lee says, Grasshopper, do I have to say it? You missed everything, man. Donald says, sure, Nikki, I'm sure Lock's up to shut down. Yeah, we've been going for 2 hours, and I mean, I planned on shutting down at this time. I mean, I kind of rushed to get going by 6 so that I can make sure and be done by the time Mogs comes on. So, because I know most of you guys are going over to Mogs, and but it appears he got knocked out by a hurricane. Hopefully, he's uninjured and alive and well, and everything's cool. But just the power's out. Nikki says, "LOL, okay, give me a few." Okay. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard had enough, 0 stamina. Well, you know, I wasn't planning on going all night long, Mr. Lee. And besides, people don't like this well, maybe you guys do. You like hanging out on here for 4 hours, but man, that wears me out. I get so tired, and then I forget everybody's name, and I can't say anything. Icon says, tired, wuss, piffed. Uncle Bone says, laughs at Icon. Truth Finder UK is finally piped in again, saying you get jocked. Yeah. I don't even know what that means. No idea. So it looks like, y'all, that Nikki plans on going live in a few minutes. So I'm going to look at the homepage here one more time, see if there's any Mogs going on here. It doesn't look like it. So let's yeah, Mr. Lee says hit it, knucklehead. Yeah, whatever that means. So thank y'all for coming. And we better get Cartman to do his thing.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
And I'll see y'all probably Saturday. Probably not going to go live tomorrow. See you later.